Hello, today we're going to be drinking whiskey. I have here Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Select Tennessee Whiskey, 45% volume alcohol. I'm going to be drinking it with ice. Some people like to drink their whiskey neat. Some people like to mix it with a little bit of water. Some people like to mix it with Coke or make cocktails. I like to drink my whiskey with ice. There's no particular reason for this, it's just the way I prefer it. So yeah, let's pour some out. That's a nice amount. Don't want to be getting too drunk tonight. Let's listen to some ice sounds. I like to take my whiskey drinking slowly. I find it quite relaxing. I generally like to drink bourbon, which is American whiskey, generally made in Kentucky. Jack Daniel's is made in Tennessee, but it isn't a bourbon. It tastes like a bourbon, looks like a bourbon, made in America, but it goes through a slightly different process of carbon filtering, which is where the whiskey is filtered over a period of time. I'm not sure how long. Through coal, I believe, charcoal maybe, and this filters out impurities and adds a bit of a different flavour. I think it makes it a bit smoother. I'm not really a fan of normal Jack Daniel's. However, this is very, very nice. Very smooth, and it tastes great. Let's have another sip. I started drinking whiskey because, well, I first started drinking whiskey when I was in college, and I went to a lot of parties. And at one of these parties I decided to get a bottle of Jim Beam, and I drank the majority of that bottle at this party and was very, very ill. This put me off whiskey for a long time, until, well, about 2 years ago now, my parents, or my mother, I can't remember which was both my parents or just my mother, but they bought me a bottle of whiskey, Scotch Godherstone Sea Cask, and I just wasn't into whiskey, and I was off whiskey. I couldn't drink it. Anyway, recently I found that bottle in a cupboard, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give this a go. And the first time I tried it, I hated it. I couldn't drink it still. But from then on, I decided, because I wanted to drink this bottle of whiskey that I was given, that I was gonna have a glass every night with ice until it was normal to me. And from doing that, I can now drink whiskey. But if I'd have sipped this a couple of months ago, it would have knocked me sick. But now I'm fine. I can't even feel the burn anymore. I'm not an alcoholic. I have 1 or 2 glasses a week maybe, but it's just nice to relax. This isn't necessarily my favourite. I don't know if I do have a favourite, but this is definitely nice. Good easy drink, nice and smooth. So when I'm not really feeling a strong burn, I go to this because it is very smooth. Now let me just move this out of the way, and let's do some bottle tapping. That's degrees Celsius, by the way, not Fahrenheit. But yeah, I've got a nice thick fleece on, which is keeping me warm. But yeah, I thought I'd film in here. It's nice and quiet and very atmospheric. Let's have another sip. I like to film in here because it's nice and dark at night, and I can just light a couple of candles, and it casts a nice light. So, yeah. Since starting drinking whiskey, I've bought quite a few bottles. I think I've got 8 now in total, including the one I was given. The first one I bought after that was Jameson, which is an Irish whiskey. And I just heard that was smooth, easy to drink. And it is, but it's not my favourite. My favourite is either Maker's Mark, which is a bourbon, or Buffalo Trace. These are both quite cheap. I've not really had any expensive whiskey. My favourite Scotch is Highland Park 12, or as it's called now, Highland Park Viking Honor. It's 12 years aged Scotch whiskey, made by Highland Park. It's very smoky. Well, tasting to me, it's very different, but it's the smoothest to drink. I find it easiest to drink. It's probably the only one I'd try drinking neat, because I'm not a big fan of drinking neat. It makes my mouth very dry if I drink neat without ice, and I don't like that. Yeah, let's have another sip. This whiskey is probably about £40 retail in the UK, which is probably 50 to 60 US dollars. I didn't buy it for that. I got it on offer at Tesco. I have a club card, and occasionally Tesco do club card offers, which if you scan your club card at a till on certain products, it will knock off a price depending on what's on offer at the time. So I think I paid about £20 for this, which is definitely worth it. Very nice whiskey. I was a bit sceptical because Jack Daniels is known as a budget whiskey, the famous budget bourbon. Although it's not a bourbon, but it's very similar. But if I was to suggest a first whiskey to get, this would probably be up there. It's just so easy to drink. It's like you're not even drinking alcohol, and it is, as I said before, 45%, which is 5% higher than most whiskey. It is a single barrel select, which means it's come from a single barrel. It even has the number on here. I don't know if you can see that, but it has the number. It has the name of the master distiller, his signature. It has the bottling date, which was the 9th of October 2020. So yeah, very nice whiskey. I would suggest it to anybody who wants to start drinking whiskey and maybe fancies bourbon. I like to drink my whiskey slow. I'm not here to get drunk. I'm just here to enjoy myself, to relax. That's what this is about. To me anyway, if you're going to spend a lot of money on a whiskey, you're not going to take it to a party and get drunk unless you're a very rich person. If if you're gonna buy a nice whiskey, you want to enjoy it. You want to, you know, taste your money, if you will. So to me, if you're gonna have a nice whiskey, you want to drink it either neat or on the rocks, which is with ice. And just take your time. You don't want to mix it with Coke, because if you're gonna mix it with Coke, you may as well just get a cheap whiskey and not, you know, spend a lot of money on it. So yeah, this is a nice whiskey. You could, if you really wanted to, you could mix it with anything you want, but I wouldn't suggest it. I'd just drink it neat or on the rocks, whatever you prefer. There's a nice dark colour in the bowl. The wood cork is made out of wood, and obviously the actual cork is made out of cork, but the cork is made out of wood. It's got a nice little barrel symbol on top. I don't know if you can see that in this light. I don't drink too much. I get bad hangovers, so I'm not a big drinker, but whiskey is a lot healthier than, say, beer or other high sugary drinks. You can maybe get. There's even research saying that a glass of whiskey periodically is good for your health. It's basically 0 calories, and it has several health factors. But obviously, I'm not suggesting this is a medicine. I'm just suggesting it isn't terrible to drink from time to time. Let's have another sip. That is very nice. I don't think you could drink whiskey fast anyway. I can. I think I'd throw up if I was taking big mouthfuls. I swear, when I was younger, when I first started drinking, I could drink a lot more and not even notice it, in taste anyway. But now I cannot drink anywhere near as much as I used to be able to. I've probably damaged my body. But yeah, that's a story for another day. This is very nice whiskey. There's not much left. And that's that. All gone. I think I'll end the video there. It's been good talking to you guys. Like and subscribe if you're still awake. I'm gonna do more videos, varied videos. I might do a whiskey video once a week, depending how popular it is.